You mentioned the heavy attack there. I remember the last time I played it, the heavy attack was very awkward because I think it was just you lean back with the stick, but there was no real indication of how far it was actually gonna hit.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I think if that was something that you played relatively recently, it was really prototypey. So that's a big thing about being an indie dev is that a
Mm,
lot of what we're testing is really just like throw spaghetti at the wall, and if it works, great, we'll keep it in. If it doesn't, then we move on. And there's a lot of testing and a lot of changing, and because there's such a huge amount of change and iteration that happens as well, it's also really hard to talk about because you don't want to say,
right,
"Oh,
right.
we're gonna have this great idea, we're making multiplayer," and then everyone goes, "Oh, it's multiplayer." Please don't clip that. We're not making multiplayer. It's not. We're a tiny team. But yeah, it's hard to talk about some of those things because they might not make it in,
Right, right.
and some of the largest systems as well might have to be scrapped and those sorts of things. But that's just in the process of what development is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so the heavy attack was something that we tested out. I think maybe the last two conventions we went to, and it seemed like people loved the idea of the heavy attack, but that it needed a lot more of a clearer telegraph, and
Right, right.
it needed to make more sense that it was like a big area that you're able to hit. And we've also made that clear in the kind of design language around like what you can hit with that attack as well. So yeah, so now you can see there's kind of like an orange tint around things that are shielded, and you can use that heavy attack to destroy the shielded things. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's like a bit of design language in there, and a little bit more of a polished idea. And as we continue to test and we continue to get feedback, those things will get bigger and better, and yeah, hopefully turn out so it's almost like you never even knew there was a problem in the first place. So yeah.
I think that's what I like about seeing. As I said, I like breaking games, so I kind of like seeing that process of games being built, and it's really fun to see a game, at one con and then see it sort of progress over the years, and it doesn't matter what game it is, just a project that keeps going, you get to see like it actually really improving, learning from those issues that were brought up at the last con, improving upon the systems, maybe having new different problems, but those old issues now are they've clearly thought through the issue, maybe even if the users don't necessarily know how you'd best solve it, because that's a problem. A lot of people are good at identifying a problem. They're not good at identifying the solution, though. So it's
Oh
very
yeah.
easy to say, oh, the heavy attack, it's unclear, but you could probably get 10 or 15 different ways to make it clearer. But you kind of have to decide on what is going to actually be the best, because different people are going to have different sort of intentions and ways they want to, I guess, demonstrate that ability.
Oh, 100%. And that's why we love doing the conventions, because you can get so much feedback, and it's actually crazy how much feedback you can get just by watching someone play rather
Mm,
than
mm.
hearing it of oh, you guys should add this or you should do this or
Right, right.
where's the jump button, all of those things. Just seeing how people play and how they experience the game, and when they come up to a challenge or a pathway, what direction do they take? And does everybody take that direction? And if they do, why is everyone taking that direction? And that's kind of leans more into that design stuff, and the reason that I'm kind of here. So I really love it, and it's a big thing for me to make sure that I go to all of those conventions as much as I can as well. So usually, if we're demoing the game, you'll probably see me at the booth, or I'll be kind of around watching, or like sneaking a look from the back while other people are explaining what the game is. Because I love being there. I love meeting everybody. But more importantly, I also like to see how people play the game and how they engage with it, and whether they're having a good time. Like if people are having fun with it, then we've done our job. So yeah, that's really big for us.
And it's not necessarily always about what people are doing. In some cases, what they're not doing also is really important as well. If people aren't interacting with the system, why aren't they interacting with the system? Is there some problem with sort of showing it to the user? Is the system not as necessary as we thought it was? And there's some issue there that you can completely circumvent it. So seeing like let's say for example, let's say you have the shield and you have the heavy attack. If nobody is using the heavy attack, but they're still
Mm.
managing to beat these enemies, clearly there's some sort of problem there. Or maybe if people are just avoiding these enemies, are you showing the user that the heavy attack actually deals with this in the correct way?
That's exactly what it is, and as the developers, we know everything about the back end of it as well. So I can tell you where every bug is and every problem is. And as soon as somebody runs into one of those things, I can write that down and go, yes, that was exactly what I thought was going to happen. Or I can go, I have no idea how that happened and I don't know why they're where they are, but we got to see them do it again. And that happens a lot. And obviously going to conventions, we get a lot of different types of people that come past, a lot of different ages as well.
Mhm.
And we've had some people who are like, we've had some people that are in their 20s and 30s that really struggle with the game, and then we've had people that are 5 or 6 years old that like just smash through the whole thing. So it is really hard to find a balance in that as well. And yeah, our aim is just to make things intuitive as much as possible, so that apart from making a big giant yellow box in the direction that you need to go, right, or a big giant arrow,
Right.
just trying to lead the player through the game so that they have the best experience they can, right? So
Mhm.
that's sort of where it comes from the design side. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, one of the things that did stand out to me is when you first wake up into the town, you kind of feel lost. And I know that's kind of the intention initially, but at least the last time I played it, I did kind of feel like I wasn't sure entirely where to go.
Oh
And
yeah. When you wake up, I think a big part of it is that you're facing the wrong way.
oh,
And then there's not really a clear direction of where you're supposed to go and those sorts of things. And so what we did is we made a couple of changes and we tried it again. And we noticed that after we did a couple of things, people found their way a lot faster and all those sorts of things. So
mhm,
now I think for the last time that we played it, we might not have had this in, but now you've got a little butterfly that you can follow.
mm.
So there's a little ping button and that'll tell you your mission's in that direction. Go
Oh,
over there.
okay.
So that's really helpful. We've also made it that you're facing the location of the first checkpoint, so that way you can see where it is. And as you go to explore the town, you can kind of follow the butterfly or follow the question marks.
Mhm.
So yeah, so there's a bit of that we've involved as well. But then we've also added a little bit more exploration in the town itself. So one of the things that we didn't really have in the original demo there is like the packages. We didn't have furniture around the town, so there
Mm.
wasn't really any point in exploring all that much. But now I think we've got like 6 or 7 hidden packages all around the town, and they unlock at different points and when you have different abilities. But for the most part, you can kind of see them and go, oh, how do I get over there? Well, maybe if I go
Mm.
around. So yeah, so we've really tried to like tease the player a little bit and engage them in exploring the town and exploring the areas. And then that's hopefully going to flow into our dungeon generation as well. So there'll be areas that you can get to when you have different abilities unlocked. And the easiest way to show that off is we have certain areas at the moment where there's these big rocks in the way of doorways, and once you get that hammer attack, you can break those big rocks down, and then you can access more dungeon to explore and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, things like that is going to be the real core of the gameplay when we get to that kind of full content release. But for now, we're hoping that everybody has a good time, and yeah, if there's anything that breaks, they let us know, and if there's anything they love, they let us know, and yeah, just keep on that indie journey, keep on grinding,
Mhm.
right? So